Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys, we're just hitting the road to the Port Lincoln Tuna Classic. We're super pumped up to be heading over to Port Lincoln for what's sure to be a great weekend. And this concept is that we're going to try and keep you guys in the loop across the whole weekend. We're going to get little clips of audio from the journey over there, the fishing, all the carry-on that goes around it. And we're going to try and let you guys live out what is involved in a Port Lincoln Tuna Classic. So we're just on Port Wakefield Road now. We're heading over to Port Lincoln this afternoon, and we're going to keep you in the loop across our journey and across the whole trip. Thanks, guys.
Righto guys, still on the road. We've just dropped into sport fishing scene, checked in with Clifty and the guys, loaded the reels up with 10 kilo mono, grabbed a couple of lures which I'll tell you about in a second, but this road trip, the excitement is getting palpable. We are not far from Port Wakefield now. The journey across from Adelaide, the excitement is getting real. We grabbed a couple of Halcos of a few different sizes. We've grabbed a couple of Cholso Hard skirts, got them rigged up by the crew at Sport Fishing Scene, great help, and now we are just on the road and we'll be checking in with you soon.
Dizzy, it is going to be an epic weekend, and we've just had, would you call it an epic lunch? We had a pretty good chicken burger at Port Augusta. What do you think?
Yeah, well played, Port Augusta. I mean, we were just after a quick bite to eat before we wanted to jump back on the road. Of course, our end destination is Port Lincoln, where we're going to spend a bit of time this afternoon getting the gear ready, starting to strategise a bit where the fish are, where they're not, getting the gear in order, all that stuff, Rhodey. It's just the excitement is building.
Dizzy, they certainly didn't miss us with the price of a burger in Port Augusta.
No, they did not miss a trick. It was $22 for a burger and a softie.
Yeah, it was steep. I think the inflation related to this petrol situation's hit Port Augusta, so just a heads up, maybe take a snack lunch if anyone's travelling through.
Good call.
No, support local businesses, Diz.
Yeah, no, support the locals. And I'm just ticking into my 5th hour of driving of this 6.5 hour trip, so when are you going to do some driving, Rhodey?
That is a blatant lie, mate. You've sat in the passenger seat and done work the whole way.
Oh, come off it.
Dizzy, what do you think of my podcast choices so far? My listening?
Yeah, look, we've really dived into some real niche, nuffy AFL territory. Something that I don't aspire to becoming, but you were there. So give the listeners a bit of a wrap-up of how niche we got on the podcast, mate.
Dizzy, we got into all things trade radio. It's only about 30 weeks to the AFL trade, so we're getting in early, Diz.
Nah, it's been good, mate. It's road trips like this that go past very quickly when you know the end outcome is going to be a great weekend of fishing, which we're very much looking forward to. So I think we can just about wrap this one up here, mate, and we'll check back in with the listeners later.
All right, Dizzy, we have just sighted Port Lincoln. We are rolling into town. It's been a pretty good drive, I would have thought, mate.
Good call, mate. When you see the Port Lincoln Airport and you've come through North Shields there, you know you're close. And then you just get that stunning view across the bay. It's a beautiful part of the world.
I'm just sniffing out the flathead ready for tomorrow morning, mate. So we're gonna go and have a feed at the pub, and then we're planning to try and catch a bit of land-based flathead in the morning.
Yeah, let's hope so, and then it'll be getting stuck into the big stuff the day after. Let's hope the bay is nice and flat for that shotgun start. Weather looking beautiful, Rhodey.
All right, guys, we'll speak to you later on. All right, Dizzy, time to give a bit of an update on our Thursday night and Friday morning.
Great to land in Port Lincoln, if you like, and get some gear ready. Tie a few bimneys, get the leaders on, get our gear ready to rock and roll. It was a good night, wasn't it, Rhodey?
Certainly was, mate. We had dinner at the pub, then we headed back to Tony's house. As you said, did the leaders, swapped a few trebles over to singles for Tuna Champions sort of gear, Diz.
Yeah, you got to make sure your gear is within the rules, and you want to get that all sorted before you head out on the water so you're ready to rock and roll. So that's what we did last night. We're ready to go. Got up this morning, wandered the flats to flick a few lures out and about, see if we couldn't entice a little flatty, and how'd we go?
No flathead, one snook, one trevally. I think you nearly stepped on a flathead, Diz, is that right?
Oh, I did see a few scurry off in the shallows, and you always love seeing that. It's just being able to get them to jump on the end of a lure. So they weren't feeding, but it was a lovely morning to walk a few of the flats around North Shields and the likes. It was a good morning, Roddy.
Certainly was, and we've just been to the supermarket. We've stocked up. We're going home to make some bacon and egg rolls to take out on the boat. We've got party pies. We've got sausage rolls. We've got chips. We've got the whole works, Diz. So we're well on the way to being organised for this fishing competition.
We've got all the gear, but no idea. You're very welcome. Speak to you soon.
All right, guys, we're down here at the Port Lincoln Tuna Classic, the briefing night and the Calcutta auction. Things are about to kick off. The house is filling up, and we're eagerly awaiting official proceedings. We're going to introduce you to one of our crew members on our board, Dutchy. Dutchy, welcome aboard.
Thanks very much, Roddy. Pleased to be here.
Now, mate, we've got to ask you, how do you think Dizzy and I have gone in the preparation day?
Perfectly. You've straight out of textbook stuff.
Mate, you're going to learn. You can't be that nice all the time. You've got to lay a bit on one of us.
Well, since Dizzy's off somewhere else, we'll pick on him tonight.
All right, guys, there's Dutchy. So he's on board Miller Lou with us this weekend. And, we'll get back to you later on.
Thank you. That's five now. That's five now. That means half, six, half. That's 6.5, 7, half. That's 7.5 now. That's 7,500, 7,500. That's 7,500 in there, 7,500, 8. At 8 now. Come on down this end, what's going on? At 8 now, half. At 8.5, 9. That's 9 now. That's 9. That's 9 now. That's 9,000. Thank you. I've got it. And you know what? I can't remember whether I was 9 or 9.5. I was 9.5. That's 9.5 in now. That's 9,500. That's 9,500. Bid, get you down there. That's 9,000. Take your 10. That's 10 at 10 at 10. That's 10 out. You're shaking your head the wrong way. That's 10 at 10 at 10 at 10 at 10. Last chance, ladies and gentlemen. Think about the boat. Think about the experience. Think about where it's been. A 10 at 10 at 10, that's $10,000. Last chance, bet, duck. Thank you.
Well, here we bloody go, mate. We're on.
We're on the water, the boat's in, we're ready to go for the shotgun start. Plenty of boats getting ready out here in the marina, Diz, and it's all about to get pretty hectic, I think.
Bit of action, mate. Everyone's getting their gear ready. Everyone's loading up. I've seen a few iced coffees cracked. I've seen a few OJs. We're ready to roll.
Couple of sore heads after the Calcutta auction last night, Diz. What do you think?
Yeah, there were a few people that didn't take their own advice about going easy on Friday night, but
shout out
anyway.
to Andy Farah. Where are you? But that was a good night, Diz. We got our bid on our boat, though.
Yes, we did, mate. We did, but I think there's been a bit of wheeling and dealing in the background to make sure that there's some prize money in it for us when we inevitably win this comp.
Yeah, we got a partial investment, we'd call it, wouldn't we, mate?
Yeah, something like that, mate.
All right, we've got about 15 minutes and then the shotgun starts on. We won't be able to record that because Tony only knows one speed and that ain't slow.
Good call, Rody. We'll check in on the water. Well, Rody, we've just had our midday radio schedule check-in, and there has been a shitload of boats that haven't caught zero fish.
Mate, it sounded like a dead set bakery, the amount of donuts that were getting talked about on that midday check-in on the first day, so that's making us feel a hell of a lot better than we were before the check-in, Diz.
Yes, no, it's been good fun, mate. We've just we've tried everything. We've had a swig of port, we've each taken a wee, we've changed over the lures, we've tried everything to get them on the chew. So I'm optimistic that we'll have one boated before too long.
We've just put lunch in the oven, so once those pies come out, someone will get their lunch interrupted by our first tuna. We'll keep you updated, guys. All right, guys, I've just snuck to the front of the Tacoma to get a bit of peace and quiet away from all the all the excitement down the back of the boat. We've come on board the mothership for dinner. There's meatballs and pasta. There's plenty of beers going down, and everyone's recapping on the day. We're not exactly sure how many fish got caught, but there are lots of boats recording no fish. We did get lucky. Dizzy caught a probably 88 centimetre tuna just around South Neptune Island later on in the afternoon. So that was good to get on the board. We're not really sure where we stand, but like I say, lots of donuts. Rods are out of the water at 5 p.m. and we motored up to Taylor's Island. Had a couple of beers on the back of the boat while we filled up with fuel at the fuel barge, and then we got ferried onto the Tacoma mothership to reminisce on a great day's fishing. So I'm going to go join the crowd again, guys.
Well, ready? It's 5 a.m. My voice would tell a different story.
Yeah, you're not sounding the best, mate. What's wrong with you? We've just rolled out of our swags on the back of the beach. We're rafted up with the Vatican to a nice Riviera, and we had a good night last night, didn't we?
We did. Lovely night, mate. Had a nice feed on the Tacoma and then a few beers with all of the different crews, and then back here for a couple of nightcaps and had a good night's sleep.
The espresso martinis were a nice touch.
They were. That was elite, mate. Very well organised trip this is, so you better believe it. We had the espressos.
And we didn't have a full count of fish on our last update, but I think we heard 29 fish caught across about 30 boats, Diz, so slow fishing yesterday.
Yeah, very slow fishing, a lot of zeros. We're glad to get one on the board, so happy days and onwards and upwards for here.
All right, guys, we're going to go pack up the boat and go find these fish to make day 2 a bit better than day 1.
Well, we're about to be fishing, Rhodey. I think it's 10 minutes before lines in the water, and the sunrise was beautiful.
It was a nice trip out to the Neptune Islands, Diz, and a few other boats making their way down here. We've got the 3 hard bodies, 2 skirts ready to go. And what do you think, mate? We're going to turn one on?
Yeah, fish are looking hungry, mate. They're looking hungry. Yesterday was slow. I'm predicting a busier day.
All right, guys, we're going to get organised, and it's about to be rods in the water for day 2. Right, Diz, 8:32. We're back on the board.
How do you feel, mate? You've just brought one in. Good, healthy-looking fish. Back in the drink, counts to the tally.
So we're up to 2 fish, 1 each today and yesterday, and I'm glad to finally break my donut because after, what'd you catch last year? 130 something, and we caught one yesterday and I hadn't reeled one in yet. I was not looking good for ever coming out in this boat again till then, Diz.
You were bringing the bad juju, but you've got the monkey off your back, mate. Well played. Good to have one on the board early in the day.
Another one, Diz, up to 3.
Another couple of fish boated, actually, Rhodey. A little rat king and another tuna to add to the tally. So we've got 3 now.
We must be climbing the leaderboard. Hopefully no one else is going too good.
Yeah, lovely morning here out on the water. I think the weather's just going to get better and better all day. So good start to the morning and more things to come.
Well, Rhodey, it's slowed down, mate. No fish for the last hour or so.
Oh, I think when you say hour or so, you mean it was about 2.5 hours, was it? 8:30.
When you're having fun.
We've cracked a couple of beers and that's helped the time pass, but there's been 0 action. Would we be safe to say?
Yeah, we've tried everything again. We've had everybody have a wee, we've had a sip of port, cracked a beer. Nothing seems to be bringing them on, but it won't be long and they'll come back on the tube.
Actually, guys, Dutchie's about to have a sip of the port and that could bring them on right now. You never know.
Hopefully, it'd be great to have a bit of singing in one of these. A bit of weed on it. Oh, well.
All right, guys, we'll see if this port brings them on and we'll be back soon.
Well, 20 minutes to go and the action has been slow for the last few hours, Rhodey.
Certainly has, Dizzy. We've just seen the crew aboard Ned, Stephen Toomey and co. Hook 102 centimetres. That was about, what, half an hour?
Yeah, about half an hour ago they had that fish. We saw them pull up and they looked like they had the crew on the back deck fighting a decent one, and then they called it in and it would appear as though it's one of the leading fish.
Certainly would, Diz. So we're here at Low Rock. So could that be the location of the winning fish?
It's a good question, mate. You'll have to check in with us later when we give you a bit of an update on the leaderboard.
All right, Diz, we're all done fishing. We're steaming home.
Well, that brings an end to a wonderful couple of days, Rody.
Certainly does, and we are hooking it home in Millaloo, riding beautifully, Diz. What do you think?
Mate, this is the best boat in the fleet as far as I'm concerned. Skippered very well by Tony. Dutchie was a great crew. It was all good fun.
We might have to see how many beers we can get into Tony at the pub and see if we can get him on a microphone, mate.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to twist his arm. It's been a great couple of days. Looking forward to the pub and presentation tonight.
And a couple of boats still fighting fish. We're not sure how many have been caught. We've ended up with 3 tuna for the competition.
Next up on the list is the Gambler with key angler Alex Ellsworthy capturing a 98 centimetre fish. And leaderboard at this moment, 14.4 would be the one to 98 centimetre fork. 14.3 kilos.
Good fish. Good fish.
So currently in second place would be Lockie Seagate on high frequency, closely followed by the Gambler, Alex Ellsworthy, 14.3. 14.4, 14.3, nothing in it.
The next boat, last boat, they've given me the microphone because it's Ned, it's Steve-O's, or Ted's boat, Steve-O's fishing on there. So, aren't they? Come on. Ted, Adrian, Pops. Why does it take so long? Everybody come up here.
That's pretty cool on your own boat. You made.
Well done, mate.
We whipped past Kahala minutes before they called their 98 barrel, and I was heartbroken. I was like, why didn't I stop? You idiot. You idiot. And then shot out the back of South Neptune, still no bites, no fish. And then we had our tail between our legs, and we thought, you know what, let's give Low Rocks one last try. And we were trolling past, the boats had dissipated, and we had a 3-way hookup. So I got the first one in without too much difficulty. It was 95 centimetres, and I was feeling pretty good. You lost one? Ted lost one. And Adrian maintained his pressure with his fish and just stayed hooked up. And we were moving the boat and getting away from the bommy that was sucking us in. And Millaloo's driving past us in the background, and we're trying not to make it look like we're having too good a time. He hooked up to a really good one. And there was plenty of times in the videos I thought Pogs just had the drag too loose, and he was don't touch the drag. And then
Sounds
when
like
we finally
that
saw
was
this
him.
thing the first time, it was incredible.
I
His
didn't
video
touch
was
a drag.
shooting off under the surface, and it took a couple of goes to get it to the boat. And Adrian and Ted were there with a net each in their hands, just in case. And I don't know how the hell they missed it the first time, but the second net's come in behind it like a claw. And they've got one in the head, one in the tail, and they've lifted it aboard, and it was just this immense relief. So thank you all for being a part of it with us. We'll obviously have to shout a few rounds at the bar now.
Oh, let's go meet him there.
Done. Deal. Let's start this party up.
I reckon Steve all nice for you, but we still got second and third prize. He forgot about that. He was ready to go to the bar, he forgot about that. So we need our second runner-up heaviest Calcutta fish for a measly $30,000. at 14.4 kilos. 5, Frequency.
I already told you how we had donuts until 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, I looked over at the crew, and believe it or not, 3 of them were laying on the back of the boat asleep. And Ralphie was sitting there looking at his phone. And not much was happening. And I said, right, we found a nice little patch under us. I said, let's get motivated, let's get happening. We've got 1 hour to go. Get a hook in a pilchard and let's go. And they did. And it was amazing because the scream I got, I think, who got the first fish? Was it Morris? He got the first fish and bang, he started screaming, oh, look at this, I saw it, it's massive, and off he went. Next minute, the second one went off, the third one went off, and the fourth one went off, and we stood there just trying to work out where they were and what was going on, and it went nuts, and we lost a couple, we got a couple more, lost a couple, and it was just full on. And it was amazing that it could come down to the last hour just doing something a little bit different. And all of a sudden they're there and bang, from nowhere you get 4 or 5 all of a sudden. So it could be anyone here. We're just lucky that it was us. So thank you again. It's amazing.
Good on them trying something different.
Our second runner up for our Calcutta at 14.3 kilos, the Gambler.
All right, Diz, the Port Lincoln Tuna Classic has come to an end. A great weekend. We're on our way out.
Yeah, what a wonderful weekend it was. Lots of fun had by all. What a brilliant way to wrap up the comp with the Sunday evening back at the Marina Hotel, Roddy. It was good fun.
Yes, plenty to celebrate. It's going to make this drive we've got ahead of us a bit of work.
Yeah, it will, mate. They certainly do a good job putting on a show, those Port Lincoln guys and girls. It was a wonderful weekend, and yeah, like you say, we've just got our trip back to Adelaide now, and we're already looking forward to next year.
Certainly ideas. We should do a couple of shout outs. Big congratulations to the crew aboard Ned for taking out the Calcutta.
Huge prize, almost 140 grand. Fish caught within the last hour or so of fishing. We're not going to give too much away because I think we managed to twist our arm and we'll have them on the podcast before too long, Rody, but they would have been very happy with that one.
Yes, Pobs caught the fish, we'll tell you that much, and we were about 100 metres away, so we could have been us, Diz.
Yes, we were close. And while we're at it, mate, huge shout out to Tony, skipper of Milaloo, who had us on his boat. What a wonderful few days we had with him and crew. Dutchy, he didn't do too bad either.
Nah, they're a great combo, Diz. Clearly fished a lot together. The boat is spectacularly good.
Yes, it's dialed in, that thing. It's got everything you could possibly want and more. Flies on the water. Beautiful, beautiful 27 beach. Wonderful weekend all round, mate.
And Diz, the other people we should thank is all the organisers, Steve and Ash in particular, but their team behind them did a really great job of making a big weekend effortless for everyone involved.
Yeah, good call. They're a well-oiled machine now. They kept talking about the committee that put together, and they've all done a wonderful job because it was a great weekend that ran very smoothly. Of course, a huge amount of money raised for the variety, so it was a wonderful cause as well to get. I think it was like more than 30 grand.
Donated, to the Runaway Brides, who passed that on to Variety Diz. So that's a great thing as well. So big shout out to all of them. And I suppose for us, a bit quieter, only 3 fish. How many did you catch last year?
Yeah, it was 138 last year, Rody.
So are you putting that down to me coming? I brought the bad luck, or?
Well, I mean, when you put 2 and 2 together.
Anyway, what was there? 56 fish we think caught.
Yeah.
across about 30 boats. So fishing was well down overall, but a great weekend nonetheless.
Yeah, it was, mate. Really good, and I think we were just glad to get back to the round without a donut. So it was good to get the 3 fish. As we always say, it's always just great to be out on the water with friends and family. So no matter whether you're catching fish, that's generally just a bonus. It was a great weekend on the water, and it was everything. It was everything we thought and more, wasn't it?
Yes, big congratulations to all the winners of all the different categories. There were lots of prizes, and we are going to try our best to get the Calcutta winning team on the next podcast.
Good call, Rody, and we will certainly look forward to that one. In the meantime, we're going to barrel back to Adelaide.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.